Wish.
Overstock.
Is it
Except
really
it's,
black market? Yeah, it's overstock black market
it's
item.
overstock.com.
This is not a real dinosaur skull. It's the skull from Jurassic Park,
I may rather
which may be
have
a skull.
that.
We don't know. Holy shit! Yellowstone starts on Sunday. Awesome.
Welcome to another episode of Who's Nerds Podcast. All of
Coming
us are
at you is
here.
Chris, Tim, and that other guy whose name is Mikey.
A lot more energy than I was going to bring. I am pooped right now. I don't know why.
You put your 2 weeks in though.
I did put my 2 weeks in.
How'd that feel?
I was a little nervous how they're going to take it.
Who gives a shit?
They can take it however they want.
I
Right?
know. But for those who know, those who don't know, I was being drained. I was working 6 days a week, pushing 60 hours a week. You know, some people, yeah, okay, cool. You know, but I ain't
Not
built
for
that
everybody.
way. I ain't built that way. Plus, you know, fiance. I want to spend time with the fiance, not at work.
Beyonce.
Yeah,
He was
Beyonce.
jamming out to Beyonce.
He put a ring on it. It's, I
Yeah.
think it's
Oh,
good.
let's put it this way: one of the
You don't know.
like the big, like, you know, point of like, okay, I need another job was I blew through a freaking red light. It was like a Friday, and I'd already worked like 60 hours, and like I just wasn't paying attention. I blew through
Yeah.
the red light.
It's more of stoptional.
Yeah, it's you know,
Well,
yeah.
when you're on a bus, the yellow means
Oh yeah,
hit
you
the
were driving.
You
accelerator.
go really fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought you were driving your car.
No, I was driving a bus with people on it, and there was a sheriff deputy on the other side. I didn't get stopped, but I'm
You
surprised.
don't have to go through the
Diplomatic
hassle. just like the bad guy from Lethal Weapon 2. I
That's
got
right.
diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic immunity. That's like, yeah.
So
Yeah, when you
Henry
drive a bus
cancer.
for the city, you have diplomatic immunity. Sometimes I forget. I don't
Yeah.
have that.
I think I saw Chris walking across the grass that said "Do not step on grass" too.
Fuck yo grass.
That's what I like about like my car, because I feel like I could just park on like the road and just turn on my like lights or something, and it'd just be like, all right,
Dude, you totally could. I noticed that Sunday when I went out when I left. I was like, oh my god, he's got like a freaking cop car.
Well, that's how it was in the bus. We could just park where we wanted to. You know, you just turn the lights on and stop and park,
Right.
and no one could do anything. What are they gonna do? Hey, there's a city bus parked right here. What's he doing? He has his lights on. Okay, so
Oh well.
anyways, I think we need to start with
Football.
football. But more important,
Football.
more poignantly, let's talk about them Colts.
yeah. All right, skip. Next.
Yep.
No.
Well, me and Mikey talked about this like on Sunday when we were watching the game. I'm like, we were talking about how we didn't know how much longer he was going to last. Of course,
Well,
Frank. Everybody knows Frank.
he's-
Everybody know Frank got fired. So
Ursay the last week said Reich was okay. He was safe for the rest of the
yeah,
year.
they all say that before they give him the axe.
Yeah.
And they called him like on the phone. That's how they fired him over the phone. Which I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, you get fired. You get fired.
I was gonna say
The
it's not like
best-
it's not like he's unable to go get his stuff
I'm
from
not-
his office.
I mean, I guess they're trying to shake things up. I don't know. I don't know the advantage of or disadvantage of firing in the middle of a season. I don't. It's not. I don't know. I mean, it's really. I mean, they chose just Jeff Saturday, who's a former Colt, who's never coached college or pro football, but that's okay. That's
It's
They're-
like
they're-
it's like what Jim said. It's like he doesn't have any type of he said fear,
going-
but I don't like that.
I was gonna say he said like a lot of coaches go by analytics, and he didn't
Yeah.
give a shit about
Yeah,
analytics.
Yeah.
If I feel like going for a fourth down and it's a 25% chance of me not getting it, hey, guess what? I'm the head coach. I'm fucking going for it.
Right.
That's pretty much what he's
Yeah.
saying. Which is,
Yeah,
hey,
he
that's
doesn't.
how you got to play. You
He's
can't
not. He's
always
not
go
been.
by the math.
Well, he's not been, essentially groomed per se by how NFL coaching is right now. You know what I mean? He's going in completely
Mm.
the different point of
That
view.
was that was my biggest issue with Reich was he followed the analytics way too much.
Well, just because a coin is 50-50 doesn't mean that you're going to get heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails. It could
Yeah.
be heads 1,000 times in a row before you get tails.
Tell that to Two Face. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was
think
an. I was but they had to have. I'm thinking of the conversation like Ursay calls up, Jeff Saturday. Yo, Jeff, what's up? Hey, how you doing? So, yeah, we're gonna fire our coach. Do you want to be the new coach of the Colts?
No,
It's like,
Saturday
he's like,
legit
really?
talked-
He's like, yeah. He's like,
Saturday talked
okay.
about it in the talked about it in the press conference. He was pumping gas in his car, and Ursay called him and offered it. He didn't
Yeah.
even want it. He was legit like, "Why are you offering it to me?"
Well,
Because
exactly.
you're a Colts legend. That's why.
Well,
I
I mean,
everybody's
he was
talking.
just there in the building not too long ago.
Maybe this is my
Yeah.
theory. I think
The
that
week
Jim
before.
Irsay was watching Varsity Blues, and and at halftime when the coach gets kicked out essentially, and then
He's like,
Lance
"Hey,
Harbaugh
brother,
takes over the
that's a pretty good
coaching, and they
idea."
end up winning the game. He's like, dude, this is a good idea. The guy that can't play anymore. Let's hire a former player. We'll run the hook and ladder. We'll run 5 receivers. That's my theory. Is he was watching Varsity Blues. That's where he got the idea from.
Well, he probably saw Motor City Dan Campbell doing pretty good. He's like, "Hey, brother, that's a pretty good idea."
I don't know if he's doing that good.
He's not. There's Annie Agar. She's on Twitter and TikTok. She's been ripping him. She dressed up as he was in Halloween, but he was. What's his name again? Dan. What is it?
Motor City Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. He was calling it Ann Campbell because he has no D. But Detroit did beat the Packers, so maybe his job is safe. Who knows? But I don't know. I don't understand in the hiring. I mean, is this just like interim to get him through the year?
Yeah, it's interim, but I thought interim was they promoted inside the building. But I guess
That whole
Yeah,
thing's
that
shitty. Why would they want to
that
promote
kind of
someone anyway?
surprised me. Is like
I
there's
was
they're playing other candidates like on that
the defensive
team,
coordinator. I thought would have been a good pick.
Yeah.
He
Well-
coached the Jags, like he was the head coach at the Jags.
Well, okay. So that explains everything. Why you wouldn't want him to coach if he was the coach of the Jags?
No, but I was listening to ESPN radio on the bus, and they brought up a good point. Is the NFL gonna investigate and like decide if this was like against the Rooney Rule?
What?
Or they
Hiring a
have to-
coach that's not.
Because they didn't ask enough.
They didn't ask enough
Um,
people. There wasn't any minority coaches.
You have to cast like a wide net when you.
They
coaches
picked
now.
the most obscure person in the world, so I wouldn't think it would matter, honestly.
But they're wondering if this goes against the Rooney Rule though. Of they didn't even interview anybody else. Like you have to
Well-
interview like so many people.
Well,
and
it's
so
but
many
that's
minority
well,
coaches.
but if they're not hiring him straight up as the coach,
I
as
feel like it might not
fill-in
make much of a
basis.
difference in
Yeah,
the season.
It's mid-season.
because
Yeah.
The coach is available.
he's an
to talk.
I was about to
interim.
say.
He's an
Yeah.
interim coach
They have to
technically.
keep him for the rest of the year, or
At the end of the season they might have to revisit it, but I feel like because
Yeah.
it's the middle of the season, you can hire whoever
Whoever you
pick.
need.
technically
Exactly.
he
Anybody.
was like, I don't want to say an offensive line coach, but he was like, over
He
the
was-
summer he was there.
When you're
Helping.
when you're the best center in the arguably one of the best centers in the NFL history, you're an offensive line coach. I don't
Yeah.
care if
Right.
you have the title or not. You're definitely an
Well,
offensive line.
and
He has to
maybe
know
maybe it's the stipulation that they re-interview him and other people at the end of the season, and that could be very well where they got that from. So
They are also saying, he probably knows the offense pretty well because the center had to know how to read defenses also, and communicate and know the offensive playbook.
Yeah, he
and
gets to call
everything.
plays. Did you ever see that video of Peyton telling him
Oh
to
yeah,
call
they
plays?
they were they were getting ready to fight on the sideline because Saturday was calling plays.
Yeah. So, it's an odd pick. I don't know how.
As a Colts fan, I'm excited for it, but as a realist, I'm like, he only has high school experience.
Yeah, football's football. He knows, but he's been
Oh.
there. He's
Yeah.
been in the trenches. I mean, it ain't like he's going in blind, don't know anything about. It ain't like hiring, the local high school coach.
Hey, I'm undefeated in Madden this year. All right, you're hired, kid.
Right.
And what about the play caller too? I mean,
Yeah, he was like
he was an
grad student.
assistant. He was an assistant QB coach or something, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that he was fired. Like
Now,
like I said, we talked about it during the game on Sunday because that game was
Do
hard
you
to
guys
freaking
think
watch.
Ballard's gone, or do you think Ballard's got
No,
one
he
more
said
year?
Ballard's safe. He loves Chris
But
Ballard.
he said the
I
same
don't-
thing about Reich.
Well, maybe Chris Ballard has pictures of, or say in his, his coked up whore partying days that we don't know about, and that's why.
Let's be honest, he still does that.
Well, yeah, he just don't post them on Twitter anymore.
Yeah, but he still has those random, 2 a.m. tweets.
Oh man. So who knows? Ballard must have something on him. I'm not a big fan of Ballard at all.
Well, that's what people said about Grigson. I liked Ballard, but the last few years, him refusing to draft a quarterback and him we have all this money and him
it's
just sitting on it,
sticking a finger in a dam. You know what I mean? Trying to stop. It's
And
essentially
don't get
what
me
they're
wrong, it worked with Rivers and it sort of worked with Wins. But Matt Ryan, I guess, was the end of it. But there's no.
They're gonna turn back to Matt Ryan. If this
if
kid can't do anything,
the only
then
reason
they're gonna.
was out there apparently is because Irsay wanted to see what he had.
Yeah, and if he keeps having games like he had the last couple, I don't see, even though they said Matt Ryan is officially benched for the season with a non-injury, blah blah blah, it doesn't matter if they're getting smoked by 30 points a game because his quarterback blows, then Matt Ryan is coming back in.
Yeah,
right.
I think somewhat injured Matt Ryan is better than a not injured.
What about
new guy?
Are they going to keep Ellinger? Is that the plan? Is they going to build around him?
Now, if he's a trash bag,
I think
they'll go find somebody else if he's god awful.
I think he's booty cheeks, and I don't think they're gonna.
Which, I mean, I hate to always blame just the quarterback because it's not only the quarterback. But when I was watching the last game, there was a lot of times where just throw the ball away. Somebody is coming at.
Right.
They're coming.
That's a rookie mistake.
They're coming
you know how
on
many
your
times?
not your blind side. They're coming on your right side. You should be able to at least see with your peripheral vision. Every other quarterback does it, and they can feel the
I think
pressure
that comes
coming
with
from the right
experience.
tackle.
Have you seen that the documentary with on ESPN with Charles Woodson and Tom Brady?
I
and
have.
He talks about because they talk about that whole game. They break down the whole game, the Tuck Rule game.
Oh yeah.
And Brady says, "Oh, this is obviously this is what I would do now. Back then, I didn't know what I was doing, and rookie mistake. I did something stupid. And essentially, that's what every NFL rookie faces because it is so. Everybody says the NFL is so much faster than college football.
Oh, 100%. But I
So
mean,
I
you still
think
got to
I
throw the
think that's
ball
just
away.
I
You
think
can't
it's just
take
a lack of
6 sacks a
experience.
game.
No,
But that's also the
offensive line. You can't blame them every time for the offensive line. But hey, your offensive line has blown up the last 4 plays. Maybe get the ball out faster. Even if it's not a fantastic throw, incomplete pass is a lot better than a sack.
What?
Yep.
I would never guess.
I'm surprised they haven't just thrown in Foles just to see what happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say we do have Foles sitting there.
I'd be more reluctant. I'd be more likely to put Foles in than Ellinger again.
Yeah.
Let Foles at least have a shot.
Right.
Because maybe Foles is. I mean, he did it once. I'm sure he could do it again.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
also don't have the team like the Eagles had. The Eagles had a great team that year.
Oh yeah. Hey, but sometimes all you need is a quarterback that can put your team into shape.
But I bet then again, it's like you kind of want some familiarity between the wide receivers and the quarterback, I guess.
Yeah,
So if you're always throwing in a QB like every other week or something, then it's like I don't think much is going to change. So
Well,
I
that's
don't.
probably why they're keeping Ellinger for the rest of
Yeah.
the season, and that's probably why.
Yeah.
But also,
So-
he might turn it around and start figuring it out, like just.
And I mean, he could. I mean, look how much Peyton got planted on his ass his rookie year. So
Yeah, Peyton set the rookie record for interceptions.
right. So
I think I set the record for interceptions in Madden in one in my first season.
I think
So-
I did it every year, but I also set like the passing touchdown record.
I think I was in triple digits with Breeze my first year back to Madden. Yeah, it was bad, and I had Breeze. It's not like I had nobody. I was like triple digits picks.
So, but they play the lowly Las Vegas Raiders this Sunday.
It's the toilet bowl.
It is toilet bowl. God, I'm so. How can one person have all that talent on his team and blow three different times this year? They've had a 17-point lead and blown all. Who does that?
That's nuts.
Well, I was gonna say,
What
are you
adjustments
like?
do you make at halftime? Okay, guys, whatever's working, we're gonna stop doing that and do something else.
I have a question, Chris. Do you now blame Carr, or is it still? Are you blaming other things?
No, that's not. It's not Carr. I mean, why is he? He was taking shots at Adams the whole first half. That stopped in the second half. That's not his choice.
That's play calling.
That's play calling. That's exactly right. That's the coach. I am not convinced that Josh McDaniels is the guy. They should have kept the guy they had last year.
Well,
at least when he took over for.
I'm happy Josh McDaniels hit the return button on his plane now.
But I they should have kept the guy they had last year. They really should have kept the guy they had last year. He got him to the playoffs.
Bisaccia.
Yeah, Nick Bisaccia, he got him to the playoffs. And that team was kind of in disarray after what's his name left? Chucky left.
Gruden. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was more of a if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's what they did. It wasn't broke, and they tried to fix it, and this is the shit we get.
Well, plus this is also the history of Belichick assistant coaches going elsewhere. I think the only one that's done it is what's his face down there in
I mean
Tennessee.
you could say that about like almost all Pats players were like nasty on the Pats, and then they were just kind of good on another team, and then they were trash.
Except
Right.
Brady.
Except Brady, but
Well,
I mean,
know, this year's really
I chalk
shut.
Brady's recent not super success to him being like 45 years old or something.
And
It's
he's
crazy.
also dealing with a lot of stuff off
Yeah.
the field.
What about Randy Moss?
Please don't get me started on Randy. You did that on purpose.
Randy
No,
Moss deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
All right. Well, I didn't. I totally forgot about that. I couldn't remember where he went.
Why did he play good for Brady and not anybody else?
No, like I forget whether he was somewhere else, then went to the Patriots and played good.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, he was
course.
everywhere else and played for the Patriots.
Yeah, he was on. He was like a hot commodity.
Yeah. Okay.
Where did he come from? He didn't go from the Raiders to the. Did he go from the Raiders to the Patriots, or did he go somewhere else?
Vikings, I thought.
No,
Yeah.
he left. So he started slacking off in Minnesota because he didn't like who he was playing with.
Culpepper.
Yeah. Then he
I'd
went to the
be mad too.
Raiders. then he slacked off, and I swear to God, he might have played 100% the first 2 games, and then he's like, I don't like I want out. Then he goes and he throws up magic numbers in New England.
So
So
only there
Minnesota,
for what, 2
Minnesota
years?
for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Then Oakland for 2, and then are we really abbreviating New England NWE, really? NWE on this website. Okay.
Patriots for,
Then Pats for 3 years.
NWE.
and then back to the Vikings, and then the Titans, and then the 49ers. Really?
Played for the 49. Really?
No,
In
he- no.
2012.
I'm
That's
gonna
what
be
it
honest.
says.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I always thought he retired after the Patriots.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Because after that
49ers.
1 year, he never really did much more.
See, there you go. My point exactly.
The
Let's see,
17
he
in 1
was-
year, he kind of fell off a little.
In his last year with the 49ers, he was targeted 50 times and caught 28 of them for 3 touchdowns
Just 3 touchdowns, huh?
and 434 yards.
Wow.
That's like a number 3 receiver.
Well, that's what you get for when you don't give 100% because you're not happy where you're at and happy to be playing and, being one of the chosen few in the league to play in the NFL.
Oh, and Tennessee. I forgot. Yeah, he was on Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't remember him on Tennessee. He probably was never made an appearance.
Should be in the Hall of Fame. But anyway,
Anyways,
what's everybody been watching? I've been watching
I-
a shitload of stuff.
I've been watching Tales of the Jedi, the new animated series on.
Is that on
Disney Plus.
Disney?
Yeah, it's about they had an Ahsoka episode. Ahsoka's a child, like before she was in a Jedi. Now they're doing a few episodes with.
He's got
Dooku.
such a hard on for Ahsoka. I swear to God.
Ahsoka's a G. Shut up.
Ahsoka went from like one of the most hated characters to like the most beloved.
Ahsoka to know.
But now they're doing Dooku. Dooku is a Padawan, and then like as he moves up,
Okay.
there's a Ultra Instinct. But it's okay. I legit think I'm Star Warsed out. I need a break from Star Wars, and I hate to say it.
Yeah, I
At
agree.
least new Star Wars. Like I watched Force Awakens with Kimberly the
Yeah,
other
okay.
day, or
Hi,
today,
Grayson.
and it wasn't bad.
Hi.
But like I have no interest in watching Andor, and I barely have interest in watching Tales of the
Andor.
Jedi.
I've not been watching. I've been watching Seinfeld. Damn, that show's funny. But I've been watching these documentaries.
Nothing.
Huh? I've been watching these documentaries right on Netflix. So HBO has the Val Part 2, which is about the Nexium sex scandal thing, and then I watched Low Country, the Murdaugh Dynasty. That's really good. That's about his family in South Carolina that was privileged, and now all these secrets are coming out, and their family's falling apart. And it seems like this guy murdered his wife and son because they were trouble. Then I watched. This is the good one. One Taste. It's called the One Taste Church of Orgasm. So this woman starts this. She starts this. They never start out as a cult. They just become a cult. But they charge an absorbent amount of money for people to have this positivity. Like a motivational
Oh,
speech.
like the Church of
I was just gonna
Scientology.
say, are we talking Scientology?
So she wants to start this Church of Orgasm where but it turns into prostitution and like people, like women are held against their will, they're sexually assaulted, and this woman started it, and she was the biggest fraud in the world, but she was charging, and they charged like $15,000 or $50,000 a session, and all for rich people to be rich. They are the stupidest people in the world. They spend their money on the stupidest shit because they all end up in sex cults between getting branded in Nexium and being sexually assaulted, prostitution, sex trafficking. That's what this one. I figured out the secret by watching these documentaries. I'm going to start a cult. As long as you avoid sex trafficking and prostitution, you should be able to motivate a cult pretty successfully without being tracked down and getting arrested by the FBI.
Wow, you heard it here first, folks.
So I might start a cult.
Versus starting cult.
I'm going to start a cult.
What are you going to call it? And, are you going to be Jesus, or are you going to be something else?
No, I'm going to become something completely different. I don't want to rip off somebody from the past.
The Cult of Hoosiers. Come and join the cult, everybody.
I don't know what I might. Let's see here. What would my cult name be? It would be like maybe like the Church of Procrastination. Like we put stuff off all the time. And like, okay, so like I charge people an exorbitant amount of money to come watch me talk, right? And I'm like, okay, so today we were going to talk about this, but I'm going to put that off, and I'm going to talk about this now. So it'll be the Church of Procrastination, where you just constantly put shit off, and like I'm gonna sell it on that that they're going to hear something really big and mind blowing and innovative, and I'll just keep putting it off every single session because it's the Church of Procrastination. So there we go. That's what it is. It's gonna be Church of Procrastination. It's gonna be my cult. Come join. You guys can be my henchmen. You know, every cult needs a henchman. I need henchmen. Yeah, like right hand men that get paid a lot of money, but don't really do anything. But like
That sounds like a perfect job for me.
They keep me protected from like the outside world. Like people can't just like come and talk to me. Like they have to come to you guys first. And
oh, FBI? No, I can't let you in.
That's right. See, that's what I'm talking about.
You can't come in. Can I see a warrant? I just take their warrant and rip it in half. I'm like, okay, you can't come in.
So while I'm going through all these documentaries and stuff, so I started watching this movie called Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
I'm not going to talk about the movie. It's good. It's really good.
It's
so
good.
You gotta
okay.
watch it. So
yeah, we're gonna watch it this weekend, I think.
So while I'm watching, so any movie I watch, I IMDb everything. I use the IMDb app, and so while I'm typing in "Don't Worry, Darling," I type in "Don't Worry." What comes up? But a movie from 2016 called "Don't Fuck in the Woods." And so, of course, I had to watch "Don't Fuck in the Woods," right? And it is possibly one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Not as far as storyline, just like whoever was the camera person for the movie, like it's like shaky camera, like they were like a handheld like
found footage shit.
Like yeah, like it's like no, like they're actually acting, and this guy's talking. These people are talking, and like the cameraman, it's handheld, and you can tell that the camera's bouncing up and down because it's a handheld camera. The edits are bad.
It's a camcorder.
The transition from one scene to the next, it's just choppy, and it sounds like basically it doesn't sound like a movie we would make, but it sounds like a movie that four buddies would talk about, and they ended up making it. So they're like, okay, so we should make a movie. Like they could be out in the woods, like camping or something. So what are we gonna do? How about that? Everybody watches a horror movie, right? And every time they have sex in a horror movie, they end up dying, right? We could do this. So we're going to send people out camping in a campground, and this monster will kill them every time they have sex. Hey, that's a good idea. Okay, so every chick that's in the movie is going to be naked. There were 6 women in this movie, and 5 of the 6 were completely naked one time or another. So they either were having sex or walking around topless or in bikinis, or they were naked.
Why does this sound like a rip of the movie It Follows?
So the monster looked like somebody dressed up in a Ninja Turtle costume, except with the teeth in the Ninja Turtle mouth.
What was this movie called again?
Don't fuck in the woods.
Fuck in the woods.
Don't fuck in the woods. So these group of friends go out camping, of course, and they all have sex one way or another in the tent, and they all end up dying and having their guts ripped out. It's like an hour and 15 minutes long, and like it's worse than Clownado. It's one of the worst movies. I would watch Clownado again. I really would, because I was entertained by that movie. This is the shittiest movie. It's like college stoner buddies were just sitting around and thinking up an idea for a movie.
You guys want to make a movie?
They were like, so what should we call the movie? How about Don't Fuck in the Woods? Because, yeah, that's a great idea for a movie. There's a sequel apparently, but it hadn't popped up yet on my app. So it's got naked girls and bad acting and shaky camera work, and it's just it looks like a movie that if we were like 15 years old, we would have made this movie minus the naked girls because we would never get naked girls to take their clothes off back then. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? That's how shitty the movie is. Like really shoddy, shanty camera. But thank you IMDb for random shitty ass movies called Don't Fuck in the Woods. Because but it wasn't like so bad that I thought I wasted my time watching Don't Fuck in the Woods. You know, I didn't feel like I wasted my time. So
apparently, there's a sequel.
yes, I can't wait to watch it. And there's another good movie I watched called Fall. It's about two chicks that climb this TV tower and get trapped up there. The CGI is kind of sketchy and it's a little predictable, but it's an entertaining movie. So I watched that, and then I watched a movie called The Freedom Riders, which is based on a true story. It's kind of like that movie with not Rebecca De Mornay. The Coolio song movie, Gangster's Paradise, movie that came in.
Has anybody kept up with The Walking Dead?
No.
Are they still walking around dead?
2 more episodes and it's done.
Really?
I was just curious if
Have they brought
anybody
Rick back yet?
caught up to it.
Yeah.
I haven't. I never watched Walking Dead, so I just happened to. I'm
I
always
think I
curious of
quit.
how it's gonna end.
I quit
They
watching.
go live on an island.
I feel like
They
a lot of
fucking-
people left off at the season where Negan beat the shit out of somebody with a bat at the beginning of the
I
movie.
quit like
At the beginning of the season.
Not the next season, but the season after that. Basically, when they started to fight back is when I quit watching because it started off like the first episode was really good. Then it went into like the usual. Well, the rest of this every episode after that kind of started sucking. It's like 5 minutes of great show, 30 minutes of suck, 5 minutes of great.
Like they added a new type of zombie. Apparently, I'm reading climbers.
Climbers. They're not. They're
Just be climbing.
They just
Well,
be climbing.
They've been freaking. I got tired of it because I watched it for the zombies, not for the stupid, soap opera. I got tired
You
of
can only have a show about just fucking zombies killing people for so long. You need an actual story.
Well, yeah. So
I know, but like
You're not going to
they
be
just.
invested if it's just nonsense.
Oh, I agree, but at the same time, the zombies just became such a
I feel like
Deus
most
Ex
shows,
Machina. It just became
the-
a Deus Ex Machina for the zombies.
like most shows, Walking Dead was so popular with like so many people that they just kept grinding it for no reason, just to like lengthen the seasons out or like make a few extra seasons that they didn't like. They could have probably season
Filler.
11. They could have probably ended at like 8, and it would have been
Yeah.
fine.
Honestly, they could have.
There's so many shows that are just like that they just go a little too long because they're trying to like squeeze as much money as they can, and usually
Right.
the series finale is shitty or like not as good as you wanted. Which, speaking of series finale, I watched just randomly the series finale of Avatar the other day. Oh my god, I forgot how good that fight with Ozai is.
Yeah, I saw a clip of it on TikTok.
Oh man,
Ago.
is this the cartoon or the movie?
the cartoon.
The cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Which
They
I
made a
still never
movie.
watched I still never watched Legend of Korra.
Didn't
Legend
they make a
of Korra
movie
is
of the
great.
cartoon, like a live action movie?
We don't talk about that. That never happened.
We don't talk about Bruno, okay?
There's no war in Ba Sing Se. There is no live action show. Even though Netflix is making a live action show.
There was definitely war in Ba Sing Se.
But we don't talk about the live action.
I forgot I watched another movie called Top Gunner.
What is up with you and these movies that nobody's ever heard of?
I don't.
Like, seriously.
Let me go type in Top Gun.
Top Gunner. There's a sequel to it. I saw it on TikTok. I haven't
Oh
watched the
my
sequel
God.
yet.
There's also 15 sequels to Land Before Time. they start
It's called
they fall off after a
It's
while.
got Eric Roberts in it. It's Julia Roberts' brother.
There's
and
also 20 Fast and Furious movies.
There's Emma Roberts' dad. Recent graduates of a secluded U.S. Air Force base must protect a gene editing bioweapon from the Russian military, who are desperate to seize the deadly viral agent at any cost. It is full It's full of stock footage and
It's from
CGI
2020.
airplanes. Yes, but it's full of it's stock footage of airplanes plus CGI airplanes. And there's only 3 pilots. So there's like 1 guy and 3 pilots, and that's it on this top secret base. They somehow end up in snow, but they have green camouflage on in the snow. I ain't figured out how they're supposed to fly.
All right, we're gonna land in the forest.
It's
They hit the ground. They're like, this isn't the. Just go with it. Just go with it. They'll think it's a bush.
it is so bad. But I can't wait for Top Gunner. It's called Top. What's the sequel?
Gonna
See,
too.
the sequel's called Top Gunner. Wait. The
Danger
sequel-
Zone.
Danger Zone. Yes.
Danger Zone. I mean, they're literally just stealing fucking Top
This
Gun.
is-
It's so funny.
This is what happens when you have no life. You live alone, and you just start. You look up stuff while watching TV on IMDb, and these stupid ass horrible movies pop up in the search. So
Who has a lot of those?
I think
Especially
I
like
found
around Halloween. There was a lot of those random like C-rated movies coming out of the woodwork that would pop up on my Hulu. That's how I ended up
I think
watching.
I found Top Gunner through TikTok. Somebody was talking about it.
Some of those like C-rated movies, Tim, are classics.
Oh yeah, like I really enjoyed the that movie that we talked about
Grim Cuddy. I haven't watched it
no,
yet.
well not well I kind of liked Grim Cuddy. I would watch Grim Cuddy again. That one where they go down into the catacombs of
As Above,
Paris.
So Below.
I thought
That's
that was
an
a pretty good movie.
That's a
Then
very,
I
that was
really
a very
just
like
randomly like picked and I just like skipped through a little bit of it and I was like, hey, this is actually kind of interesting. I would have liked a little cleaner of an ending, but it's not about the destination. It's about the journey, I guess.
Top Gunner is not one of those movies. It's on Tubi. You can watch Top Gunner on Tubi.
Who
Is
the
that a
hell
1
has
star?
Tubi?
It's a free app. You just download it and watch Top
Oh,
Gunner.
I thought you had to. It was all apps are free. I would like
No,
to point out.
no. It has commercials, but it's an uncut movie. It's a shitty ass movie, but you
I
can
thought
watch it on
Tubi
Tubi.
got shut down.
Huh?
Oh,
I watched this like 2 days
you
ago.
watched? Have you watched Titans?
No,
That
it's on
I-
HBO, right?
Yes. Well, I meant our local DC
Oh, the
fanboy.
show?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, show Titans.
Titans looked so bad when they first announced it. I've just refused to watch it, but I've heard it's actually gotten kind of good. What?
I don't. I just like shitty ass movies. They're entertaining.
Yeah, The
I
Room.
just never had interest in Titans.
Yeah, I happened to like read something about it the other day, and I was like, oh, this. I wonder if this is
No,
any
it's
good.
gotten. It's apparently it's gotten actually really good since release, but I have no interest in watching.
Hey, that's good. At least they're moving in the right direction. Most of the time, it's
Yeah.
reverse. Most shows start off wicked strong and then
Also,
shitty by
Doom
5.
Patrol, which kind of comes off of it, has Brendan Fraser in it as one of the. He's a masked character, but he is in Doom Patrol. So if you want to see our Lord and Savior, Brendan Fraser.
What? Oh, Doom Patrol. That's not a
Yeah.
bad show. I've watched the first few episodes.
Uh-huh.
It's not horrible. It's not horrible. All right, so I got a question for you gamers. Did you guys see about the guy, since you guys like the game and shit, the guy that created Oculus Rift?
Oh my god, I love it. I saw it. It was so funny.
He created a headset that will kill you in real life if you
Yep.
die in the game.
In the game, he just made a Sword Art Online helmet. That's all I did. I saw it on my
It like makes your
newsfeed one
brain
day.
explode or something if you die
Yeah,
in the game.
all he did was attach 3 little pieces of fucking TNT or dynamite to the little Oculus. You can see
Couldn't
the
he,
3 pieces. It's not like it like rams. The way it looked, it was like, oh, you hit low light, like dead life, and these 3 things have like giant
It
like
blows your head off.
knives in them, and it'll just like penetrate you. No. He just connects.
Oh,
TNT.
so is it like that thing in No Country for Old Men?
That's what I thought it was gonna be like, but it's literally just like a Oculus with a little piece of dynamite attached to it.
So
It
it's
just blows
basically
your-
like a booby trap that the coyote would set up for the Roadrunner.
Yep.
I want something like Wild Wild West, where they attach that thing to their neck.
The neck.
And they have the saw blade coming out of nowhere just to chop you off. Just
Oh,
to
he died.
decapitate you.
Launches it from like California, and it cuts its way across the country.
So fun.
Yeah, but what if you just start a game like and like your controller your Oculus messes
Well,
up
you're.
and like
I'll say
you
you're.
turn
Make sure
right
your
all of a
batteries are
sudden
charged.
and jump off a cliff and you don't mean to, then you're dead. I mean, I guess if you don't take it off, you're dead.
Well, that's how Sword Art Online worked. You couldn't take it off.
They just suck it to your face. You can't.
Well,
take it back.
because it was the way the show worked was it wasn't like how VR is now, how you're like moving your character with like your body. It was you lay down on a bed or sit in a chair and your mind is controlling the character, not
If
your
you
body.
if you created something like that, why would you tell people that you created something like that?
I
Because you
think
know
he did it
what?
as a
It's
joke.
gonna happen, and it's gonna be. I'll fall back onto this guy that created it.
I mean, somebody was bound to do it eventually because it's
He did
Sword
it-
Art Online's a wicked
Probably did it as
popular
a
anime.
joke.
Yeah.
So you guys signing up for it?
No,
Depends on the game.
I got my
That's a good-
my
If I'm
VR
good enough at
headset
the
that I
game,
haven't touched since I
let
got
me
it.
take my Destiny character and I'll do it. No problem.
Are you like that John Travolta commercial for that PlayStation game where he dresses up in his character and tells his daughter that they're going out to eat and shit? Have you guys seen that commercial?
I don't think so.
No.
His face is painted and he's all set up in this
Is it
gear for like a Ragnarok
Call-
game or
Is it a Call of
it's a
Duty?
it's a PlayStation game.
I mean, Call of Duty's on PlayStation. I know
Something
that.
Ragnarok. No, he's got like his face painted like he's going to war.
God of War.
God of
Yes.
War. Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, like his face painted. He's got this big like axe, and he's dressed up like his character because he lives his character. I'm guessing that you would do with the Oculus Rift, and it would just blow your head off.
I was making like talking to Bo about the that thing, and I was like, yeah. Bo would be like, yeah, he said he was like, I'm down, and I was like, yeah, you'd be down just because you'd be like managing your shop all day, and then you'd fall off a ladder, and then that's how your head explodes. You fell off the ladder and you hit 0 health.
What if it was like the like Final Destination, like how you died is how you're gonna die in the real life eventually. Like you fall off a ladder. So
Hopefully I get hit by a meteor, because that'd be
Yeah, what if it's like the Paperboy game? You know, you get hit by a car, just riding by.
as you're crossing.
Well, that's the start of an anime arc. The main character gets ran over by Truck Senpai.
That time I got reincarnated as a blah 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 blah.
There was that guy that got hit by a bus, and then the Beatles no longer existed and became this massive rock star because he stole all the Beatles.
Oh, I doubt you guys have heard of this, but so in Massachusetts and maybe I know for sure Rhode Island, maybe Massachusetts too, are looking to ban all turns on red.
What?
Why?
Except for the major intersections where it would like hold up traffic by like way too much, because like so many people get like there's so many accidents on turn when there's like turn when you can turn on red. So many people get like hit in the like I was watching the news yesterday while I was waiting for the while I was waiting for the Powerball numbers, or maybe 2 days ago, whatever day it was.
None of us won $1 billion. I see.
No, we did not. We would have a party house in every state. Don't worry. I have it all planned out. And it's like, of course, they're like interviewing people on bicycles, and they're like, "What do you think of this law?" "Oh, I think it's fantastic." Blah blah blah. Like, how about you just stop at an intersection before you just ride through with a bike. That's why they're all for it, so that way they don't have to look before they cross the damn street.
It's always the
But,
bikers that are causing.
It's so ridiculous.
no
I would
turn
say-
on red sign's not going to stop people from not turning on red.
I mean, I don't turn on red if there's a sign.
I don't either, but
I don't either, but I would still turn on red.
But yeah, but I was like, this is crazy. They're like, yeah, we're gonna ban like a lot of the. We want to ban like the turn on reds, like for the most part, and just have the ones that you really need. And I'm like, kind of like how it is now.
how do they
Almost.
decide? I was going to say, how do they decide which one gets a no turn on red and which one doesn't?
Probably
Well,
traffic congestion.
I'm assuming like like if there's only 3 lanes of traffic and one goes left, one goes right, and one goes forward, the right lane, or it's usually the 2 right lanes, so it would be the one that turns right could also go straight. That one's just going to be like wicked backed up if you can't turn on red. It's like when
off
most
top
of
of my
the
head,
time
off
pops
top
up.
of my head in Kokomo, I can name like 3 right now that you couldn't do that. You know, you have to keep turn on red. Markland and 931,
Markland
Dixon
and 930.
and Sycamore.
Wait, why? Wait, Dixon and Sycamore. Why would you want to no turn? That is, you know what? That Dixon and Sycamore is tough there because everybody eats
No,
at
I'm
that
saying they
damn
would
restaurant,
I would say they
and you
keep the
can't
turn
see
on.
around the corner. I could see a no turn on red there. That makes sense.
Yeah,
There's a no turn
Roosevelt
on.
sucks.
Meanwhile, there's a no turn on red at North or Morgan and 31
Yeah, it needs one there.
and North Street and 31. Why at North Street? Like that ain't that busy. The people go
North
flying through.
doesn't even run north. Why is it called north?
It. I don't know. It runs
Maybe.
east of-
Maybe
It's
too
on the
many.
north
Can't
side
see.
of Kokomo.
You don't want to say North Street. You see it
Are
better
too
to
many
say
people
east.
going to the Kroger and the CVS that are on that street?
Did you just look it up?
I did. You gave me
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gave me the coordinates.
Well, the
Yeah.
trolley. The trolley turns from Sycamore onto Dixon, and that's the bus. That's the trolley stop. Is there's a trolley stop at the CVS. You turn the corner, and then
I
you go
hate
through
that stop.
the Kroger.
When
That-
I was driving, that was my least favorite
Oh, there's a
stop.
Ralph's right there. Oh, and a McDonald's. Oh, this fucking intersection's bumping.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
really busy intersection.
A Taco Bell right there.
It is a very
Apartments.
busy section.
I
Did you-
noticed there's
An elementary school. Oh shit.
Yeah, Wallace. But there's a Supley's like in the next right there liquor store in the plaza next to the. How did they get away with that? Putting a liquor store that close to a freaking elementary school.
Because
That's
it's
so
just
funny.
outside of range. I bet if that liquor store was another like 10 feet, it would be.
Dude, it's
if
not
that
that
liquor
far.
store went out of business though, and another one tried to go there, they wouldn't let it go.
Well,
It could also be grandfathered in because that's how a lot of
No.
grocery stores in
No, no.
Massachusetts
That
work.
Supley's
They
ain't
don't do
that
that.
old.
no, but they remember the Supley's used to be. This might be before you came back, but the Supley's, that whole plaza right there. You know how they tore half of it down. Supley's used to be right there on Jefferson, pretty much. So they had to tear it. They had to move it because it was too close to the school.
Where was it at? It was in the it was in that plot where the bank is.
Yeah, it was it was
Or-
just west of the bank where the grass is.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
that
right there.
that used to be back in the day. That was an AMP. Then it was Big Lots. That was the first Big Lots, way back when I was.
Yeah,
a kid.
but there was a Supley's there too because my dad.
Oh, okay.
My dad would go in there and buy lottery tickets, and I wanted to go in with him because
and you
but I
couldn't.
couldn't go in.
There's so many fields for activities around this area.
There is.
Look at all these fields over here on Mal Fowler.
Malfalfa.
Alfalfa.
When I used to live out there when I was a kid, when we first moved out there, the only thing that was out there that was Colonial Plaza, and they had Wallace School where Kroger is. Was absolutely nothing. There were no houses behind it. There was nothing. That McDonald's wasn't even there. They built that McDonald's
Yeah, that looks like a
after
new
we moved
development.
out there. Probably
Those houses are
78
like
or
friggin' side
79.
by side. Holy shit.
That
What?
Nick lives over there.
They're like all touching behind Kroger's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where Nick lives.
They're like, I mean, at least they all have yards. What's with this random grass that literally just like splits everybody's yard straight? Like you could run down the middle of all of these houses and not be in anybody's yard. That's kind of weird.
That's
It
kind of
must
how
be like
Coco.
a culvert
I-
or something.
I wonder who
Ditch.
mows that grass.
I don't know.
So
Good question.
when Kimberly and I were moving in together, we were looking at Jefferson Crossing over there, and I got so pissed off because it's such a nice apartment complex, but it's income based, and that
Yeah,
started
there's
my
a lot of
hate
cops.
of
Like,
income.
police get sent out there quite a bit for domestic.
Oh, it's a really nice apartment. They
Are
live
they
in.
nice apartments? I
Yeah,
thought about living out there, but they were a little pricey too.
we made too much money.
Oh,
We made the amount of money of a three person family.
what the crud!
It
What
didn't
is
feel
it?
like it working for the city.
That was
That's the picture you're talking about.
yeah. Isn't it so weird that there's just like
That is why. Yeah, who does mow that? Why
That's
would
just
you?
an easement. That's
That's
just an
probably
easement
the parks department
for the
probably built
cable.
that.
That's
Is that
probably
what that
easement
is?
for cable
So
oh
their
and
yeah.
electric.
their property line only goes to there. It doesn't like intersect at like the back.
I'm just it's I can see all of the periodically there are like electrical boxes like throughout this
Uh
middle.
huh.
It's just
Yeah.
it's
I
just so strange.
That's
I said
random.
Nick's house.
The
Nick's
gas
house.
runs to the front, so that's definitely easement for the electric.
Nick's house is the one without a fence. I don't know if he's added a fence since then, but I knew he didn't have a
Well,
fence
not
last time.
without a fence.
They all
No,
have
it's
fence,
up north a little bit towards the court,
Yeah, we're the
towards the end of the road.
yeah
and
the
almost
roundabout.
everybody has a shed.
Well,
That's
it's just saying
bizarre.
it's like so cookie cutter for like all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
why
the
does that
next
one at the top? His yard is shorter than his neighbor.
so the
I'm
next
calling
neighborhood
bullshit.
the next neighborhood over, my uncle owns half of it because his aunt or my cousin.
Frederick Farms or something like
The
Yeah,
horse,
no,
the horse name one.
yeah.
Oh,
So
hey, I see Fred.
the one with the diagonal driveway with the pool. My cousin lives there. He
Got it.
owns everything west and turned it into a farm because he didn't want anybody buying the property and adding on to increase
Pretty
their
sure
own
I
value.
There
pretty
you
sure
go.
I still have your
All that wooded area is his, and that little barn. I've been in there a few times.
I think I still have a marker on your house.
Well, I don't live there
I
anymore.
used to live west of that area, Devon Woods. We rode our bikes to Colonial Plaza. What a stupid ass kids we were. My God. drove down, We rode down
Well, there was
Jefferson
nothing to
Street on
do
our
down
bikes.
back in the 1820s, so
Back, dude, people would. Well,
Horse and carriage.
there weren't as many houses on Jefferson once you got past Dixon Road, so people would fly down Jefferson Street, and that's the street we took to get to the plaza. Of course, we had no money. I don't even know why we went. I guess because we could. Our parents were out of town, and we rode our bikes back home.
We're a
God,
bunch
we
of
were stupid.
hooligans.
Bunch of hooligans. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I remember when Dixon was a 2-lane road.
Yeah, so do I.
They were supposed to make it 4-lane all the way down to my neighborhood, but they decided not to. They decided to stop at Alto.
That Alto, that's a dangerous. That's a dangerous intersection too.
They're at Park and 26. They're
They should
putting
no
in
turn.
stoplights.
They should no turn on red at Alto and Dixon.
No, screw that. That's like my lifesaver.
But no, to go north on Dixon from
Yeah.
Alto. No, because
I do
that
that all the
car
time.
lot's right there.
Well, don't suck and look both ways.
Don't
You know,
suck.
poke your front out a little bit and take a look.
I'm just saying. There's a lot of trucks come down that road. You know, by Mike's Pizza. Oh, Mike's Pizza.
I could go for some Mike's Pizza right now.
Yeah, but you have to drive 2 hours.
You can't have any of my pizza.
Wow. Even if I drove 2 hours, you wouldn't give me your Jack's Pizza.
Your Jack's Pizza.
No.
It's Walmart brand.
Anyways, well, that was a little bit off topic.
Well, you know, little geography lesson for those who don't know anything about Kokomo.
Anybody got a shower thought?
yeah, me in the shower.
No, but I am actually the only thing I do want to say this Saturday, is the day I meet my childhood hero, and I hope he's not a dick.
Who?
Lee Majors. Lee Majors played the $6 Million Man. Steve Austin, he played Steve Austin in the $6 Million Man. He was Colt Seaver in The Fall Guy. He was Heath Barkley in The Big Valley, which was a cowboy show from the 60s. So I was like, that was my guy growing up when I was a kid. I wanted to be Steve Austin. I ran in slow motion and everything because he ran in slow motion. Because he could run 60 miles an hour. So they had to shoot him in slow motion. That was the thing. So I am meeting my hero this weekend. So fingers crossed. Paid a lot of money to meet Steve Austin and get my picture taken with him. So I'll have to update y'all. Y'all can go with me. It's called Fan Con or whatever. So it's like
We gotta do our new segment sometime. Maybe
what new
next
segment?
week.
Oh yeah, we do need to. Let's do the new. We'll start that next week. That's a good idea. Mikey had a great idea for a segment.
And what my segment? Mikey's was better, but my segment also.
Yes.
We don't endorse gambling, but we're going to talk about it.
Yes. Put money on. No, I don't have. Nobody's got a shower thought.
I gave my shower thought. I'm just waiting for people to call.
You think they're gonna call?
I mean, they might. They might.
I don't know.
I've been reading some on like Reddit, and I'm not finding any good. No matter what you're doing, there's always somebody doing it better than you.
That's the truth, though.
I was listening to.
Is it the truth?
I was listening to the Twisted History podcast, and they kind of mentioned like what it was like when like people saw like horses for the first time. Like, just imagine someone riding a horse or something like that. They think it was a dragon or something.
Yeah, that's how we got centaurs.
Or like seeing
That's half the
like
shit in our ancient history.
smoking tobacco and seeing like smoke come out of someone's mouth for the first time. It's like it's like magic to them.
Everything
was it like is it like when you could check Facebook on your phone for the first time?
Yeah.
What's the quote? Everything is magic until.
Oh, shut up. Hold on. Give me a second.
Got it. I remember when smartphones first started coming out. I didn't get one until I was like a junior in college.
I remember I wanted a Razor so bad.
Yo, the Razor was hands down the best. And then they came out with like the Razor 2 lately, and it kind of sucked ass.
Well, that was the folding phone, right? Was that the folding phone?
No.
I wanted the chocolate or something, and
I had the chocolate.
Yeah, because like you could put music on it or something. I forget what it was. Yeah.
I remember when I guess it was 2000. Was it 2005? It might have been 2005.
Blackberry.
2004, 2005. But I was getting on a plane to fly up here to Indiana for Christmas because I still lived in Florida. And somebody had an iPhone, like in the in the walking thing, the tunnel you get to.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, she's so lucky. How could she afford an iPhone? Like nobody had iPhones. Like that was for the rich people that had iPhones.
Dude, I remember when like somebody got one at my school, and they were like, the popular person forever.
Right.
Miss my little my envy.
And the iTouch was just an iPhone without phone capabilities.
I had an iTouch for the longest. I still have it somewhere, but I don't think it works. Like I even put it on like a charger, and
I've got an iTouch somewhere, and it works still, but I can't update it. It won't,
Yeah, they brick it.
It is what it is.
I was cool and had the Zune.
I remember that. I thought your Zune was really cool when you first got it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty cool design, but Zoom never
Fucking, you
took
could
off.
knock someone out with it, throw it at
Yeah.
their head.
The Zune made them go Zoom to the grave.
In the 20th century, Arthur C. Clarke said any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. You know who says that?
Who?
Michael Burnham from Star Trek Discovery. Burn! And there's another Star Trek joke because I said burn.
Was it the Razor? What was the Razor? Was that the flip phone?
The Razor was the flip phone, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the one they designed
The
after
AT&T.
after the communicator in Star Trek, right? That was
Oh,
essentially.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's where they got the idea from. That. So there you go.
Anyways,
Too bad the old school tricorders flipped open from the bottom and not the top. Stupid people at AT&T.
anyways, we can catch up with us on Facebook at Hoosier Nerds Podcast, Twitter at Pod Nerds.
Pod Nerds.
Shut the fuck up.
He can't even
Shut
say
the
"shut the fuck up"
shut the fuck
properly.
up.
Because I'm trying not to cuss. Like I don't cuss that much in person anymore, but
Oh.
it was brought up to me that I change when I'm on here, so I'm trying to stop cussing on
Yeah,
here.
because you're with the guys. That's why.
Stop!
'Cause we all have
Oh.
potty mouths.
Stop it, mother fudger!
You can
Gosh
watch
darn
and
it!
listen to us
Mess me up.
on YouTube at Hoosier Nerds.
The heck?
You can listen to us at your favorite podcast places like Spotify, TuneIn Radio, iTunes,
Duty.
and Spotify.
And if you ever want to know who your nerds are, come listen to us, bitches.
B words. Us B words.
Us B words.
Hey, you guys can do it all you want. I just don't want to do it.